Blessed day, beloved, thank you for tuning in. Is your humble servant, spiritualist master, Molobo Kyoko Katapena. Today I'm teaching, and I'm going to teach by uncoding the principle of Maa't. This is going to be for your benefit. This is going to remove you from ignorance, and this is going to put you in the way and understanding that African were never savage. We had principles that govern us and still governing us up to today. We need to remove the image, the negative image that is being purposely attached to our spirituality, where we are presented as savage, as archaic. Today, I'm going to uncode for you the principle of balance. This is our first episode. It's going to be part of the booklet that I'm going to release, explaining the booklet, the 42 law of Maa't and principles. So now, today we are going to talk about 4 topics. The first one is going to be a personal conduct and well-being. How do Maa't expect you as an African, as a Kemteic, to behave and to conduct yourself in this current modern life? And the second point we are going to talk about is going to be social justice and community. Then we are going to explain how do Maa't expect you to relate to your community, to treat your next of kin, your neighbor, and to be treated. And then the third point, we are going to environmental stewardship. We are going to look and explain how Maa't expects us to relate to our environment. And then lastly, our fourth point would be spiritual and cosmic alignment. How do we align ourselves with the cosmic powers and our spiritual life? So I believe that these are the 4 topics that we are going to learn today. You are welcome to comment, to ask questions for more clarifications. Okay, let us start. Today's topic is the balance of Maa't explained. That is what we are learning in season 1. Let us look at the reality. The ancient Egyptian concept of Maa't was far more than just a goddess. Many people think of Maa't just like a goddess. No, it's far more than that. And it was a fundamental principle that encompassed truth, justice, harmony, and balance, order, reciprocity, and propriety. It was seen as the cosmic force that maintained the universe and guided both human society and natural world. In ancient Egypt, living in accordance with Maa't was crucial for prosperous life and favorable afterlife. You need to understand that Maa't is the core principle of our life. It encompasses everything that we stand and wish for. Sometimes you are asking yourself questions. You are trying to do whatever you are told, whatever you research in the net. But why your ritual, your connection is not there? Why you don't make it? Now today, you start learning how you can align yourself to what you want and what you believe in order for you to get the result you want. Let us go. In our modern life, the principle of Maa't offers profound guidance for navigating the complexity and challenge we face. Here is the principle of balance of Maa't translated into contemporary living. Because I want to simplify this. I want you to be able to understand what Maa't means in your age time of living, because I don't want to start going to things that does not relate to you. So take your notes, We start with our first point. Our first point is personal conduct and well-being. Excuse me. We go there with the subpoint truth, fullness, and integrity. Yes, we are talking about truthfulness and integrity. Maa't emphasizes honesty in word and action. In modern life, this means being truthful in communication, upholding promises, avoiding deceit in personal and professional dealings, and living with integrity. It fosters trust, authentic relationship. I'm repeating. Our first point is personal conduct and well-being. How you as a Kemteic follower, and how you as a Kemteic believer, you shall behave. The principle of Maa't expresses us to be truthful and integral. So truthfulness and integrity is the first point, which Maa't is emphasizing on honesty in your word and actions. Do not feel comfort on gaining something by deception. Do not say words which are not matching your actions. You be a spiritual leader. You just be a member, a follower, a believer. When your word and action are not matching, you are out of Maa't. Then you cannot expect your ritual. You need to go further. We go deeper. In modern life, in the life that you are living, in the life that you are able to watch me through the internet today, in the life that you found different from the old one on my bed, where we're having the pyramid. In modern life, this means being truthful in communication, upholding promises, avoiding deceit in personal and professional dealings. You may be brainwashed by system. You may be brainwashed by your guide. You may be brainwashed by your education in how to conduct your dealing by taking unfair advantages from those who are ignoring. Well, you know very well that they deserve whatever you are taking away from them. You are out of Maa't. That is not how I believe. And this is showing to you that it's wrong. Let's go further. Upholding promise, avoid deceit, personal and professional dealing, and living with integrity. It fosters trust and authentic relationship. A lot of people are complaining today, people don't like them. A lot of people are complaining today that people are jealous of them. A lot of people are complaining today that they don't have a social life, a social cohesions. But ask yourself, how do you communicate? Are you being a person of integrity? Or you told yourself that you're a person of integrity? How do others perceive you? You need to stand and look yourself in the mirror as a Kemteic. Society is there. How do you communicate? How do you honor your word? How do you fulfill your promises? How do you treat the relationship that you are building with your neighbors, with the next person? The perception of a society is what going to tell you if you're living Maa't or not, toward you. If there are things that society are blaming you, even though you are misunderstanding them, try to resonate with yourself. You can deceive everyone, but you can never deceive your conscience. And then we go to our second point. Balancing all things. We need to balance everything. Then we go to those in the modern life. We're talking about this life. This core of Maa't, it applied to work-life balance, preventing burnout by ensuring adequate rest, leisure, and time for personal relationship. alongside career demand. I'm repeating. What Maa't expects you as a modern Kemteic is this: preventing burnout by ensuring adequate rest, leisure, and time for personal relationship alongside career demand. Because now the excuse is that we're busy. The excuse is that we are working, we are professional. But sometimes people fail even to do their rituals. People fail even to balance their relationship. Parents do not have a relationship with their children. Partners do not have a relationship, intimacy in the relationship, because everyone is chasing after their goals, their careers, the money, which is contrary to what Maa't prepare for you. Maa't expects you to create a balance. Work normally. Balance things, you'll be prosperous. You overwork, at the end of the day, you don't achieve any goal. You don't rest. End of the day, you are destroying your body. I hope on that aspect you understand. If you are having problems of being an workaholic, then understand that you are going against Maa't. You are chasing prosperity and success away from you. And we go to our third point, physical health. Balanced diet, exercise, and rest to maintain well-being. When you are working, balance how you are eating. Even at home, eat properly. Eat properly a balanced food. You are overworking yourself, you end up starting eating takeaways. They are not going to be constructive for your organ systems, for your body. Science has told you that. You don't need spiritual people to come and tell you that. You're fully conscious because you're educated that those kind of food are not there to sustain your human system. It's to push you. So why don't you eat natural food? Why don't you take time to balance, to take care of yourself, to rest, to exercise? You need to balance your emotional regulation. Maintain emotional equilibrium, not being swept by extreme anger, fear, or attachment. It encourages responding with calm, reason rather than impulsivity. I'm repeating, emotional regulation. Maintain emotional equilibrium, not being swayed by extreme anger, fear, or attachment. It encourages responding with calm, reason, rather than impulsivity. And this affects a lot of people, especially parents. Sometimes I get people that are complaining about how their parents are addressing them, the kind of way they are uttering their mother or their guardians, their bosses, or people in authority in front of them. When you're a Kemteic believer, when you believe in the Kemteic principles, you need to balance your emotions. There is no justification for you to be impulsive if you can balance your emotions. And the way to balance your emotion, avoid excessive angers, avoid to be swayed. No one is perfect. We know that. We don't lie about it. We know the weakness of humanity. It can be your children, your partners, your employee, your subordinates, your superior. But how do you address it? How do you approach it? Are you being emotional in your professional life, in your personal life? You need to balance that. We don't say don't have emotion, but balance it. Avoid it to lead you to commit atrocity, to abuse others. Because the more you are overtaken by emotion, you'll be destroyed. So my heart expects you today to balance that. And you're welcome to ask questions based on personal circumstances. And lastly, digital detox. We're still on the balance of everything. We got work life, physical health, emotional regulation, now digital detox. Finding the balance between being connected online and being present in the real world. Preventing overstimulation and social media fatigue. In our age and time, there are people whom they always on social media. They don't do business there. Only sit on gossiping, watching, learning, discovering. It's good. However, make you comfortable is fine for you. But create a balance. Because the more you become selfish on focusing on what pleases you alone, you are neglecting those around you. You are destroying your own health and your own ability and capacity. So it's important that one balance those ones. I hope that is very easy to understand, especially in the digital world. Create a digital detox for yourself, for your own good. And then we go self-responsibility. This comes after balance. Under conduct and well-being. Under conduct and well-being, we have truthfulness, we have balance all things. Now we've got self-responsibility. What is your responsibility in today's modern world, in the life that you don't want, and in the life that you want to, you are hoping to achieve? Maa't stress individual accountability for one actions. Maa't stress individual accountability for one actions. In modern terms, this means taking ownership of our choices, consequences, and personal growth, rather than blaming external circumstances. This is a key point. I'm repeating, self-responsibility. Maa't stress individual accountability for one's actions. In modern terms, this means taking ownership of our choices, consequences, and personal growth, rather than blaming external circumstances. People have portrayed themselves as victims of a lot of things, but people don't own accountability. Why do you see witchcraft? Why do you find yourself vulnerable? It's because you're breaking the core, the laws of Maa't. And then you're in denial of self-responsibility. Own your choice, own your actions. No one is perfect. Be bold, accept responsibility, correct them, and then amend, move forward. Don't try to blame. Maa't doesn't compel you to say, if you don't do this, you end up like this. You are seeing the consequence of your own actions. You are failing because of your own misbehaving toward Maa't. And I hope right now you are learning. I hope it's enlightening your mind. You are asking yourself why your ministry is no longer working well, why your gift, your calling is no longer working well, why you do not have connection. These are what are blocking you. We're still only at the beginning. You understand? We go to kindness and compassion. How do Maa't I expect you to relate to the contemporary world? This world that we are living in, how do Maa't expect you to relate to it? Kindness and compassion, the negative confessions, declaration of innocence made in the afterlife, included statements like, I have not made anyone cry, or I have not caused disruption of peace. This translates to fostering empathy, avoiding harm, and promoting peace in our interactions. We know that we got accountability in the afterlife, even though as we are not those who believe in heaven and hell, but we know that we are accountable. So what Maa't expects you in kindness and compassion. Avoid negative confessions against you. and avoid to take negative actions against others, so that by the time you are moving away from this life, you are going to the afterlife. By the gate, you shall be able to make this sermon. I have not made anyone cry. I have no caused disruption of peace. And in other words, you were working for cohesion, for harmony, for peace, for balance. And then we go to our social justice. This is still our subpoint in under the balance. Personal. With that, we finish with kindness and compassion. I hope that first point is clear. I will say our first point was personal conduct and well-being. Under personal conduct, our subpoint was truthfulness and integrity, balance in all things, self-responsibility, kindness and compassion. Now we are going to our second point, which is social justice. How does Maa't expect you to live in this world of us today? Under social justice, we've got also 4 subpoints, which I'm going to explain. Fairness and impartiality, that is the first one. Maa't expects you to be fair and impartial. What does Maa't say? Maa't was the bedrock of ancient Egyptian principles and laws, demanding impartial justice for all, regardless of social standing. In modern society, in our society of today, this resonates with the pursuit of equitable legal systems, human rights, and the fight against discrimination. It calls for treating everyone with inherent worth and respect. I'm repeating what Kemteic have preached to the world from all this time and have prepared even for our generation to live in harmony. Fairness and impartiality. Maa't was the bedrock of ancient Egyptian principles and law, demanding impartial justice for all, regardless of social standing. In modern society, this resonates with the pursuit of equitable legal systems, human rights, and the fight against discrimination. It calls for treating everyone with inherent worth and respect. That is how we plan it. But that is not how we treat them. You know, when I was writing this and conducting my research, I asked myself, why it says a black man is always suspicious? Why we always been perceived as dangerous? Where from our own value, our own belief, and our own identity, we predicted balance for everyone. And we acknowledge that everyone got an inherent, yes, right to be treated with respect. We do not say treat someone with respect because you know who they are or what they have. We said everyone from top to bottom. Unfortunately, that is not what our society is living today. We are like second-class citizens in the world. Wherever we go, we are looked at twice. And all the Kemteic can teach to the world that we're not what they think of us. That's why I'm teaching today. We go to our second point under justice and honesty. Reciprocity and giving back. The principle of Maa't encourages the wealthy to assist the less fortunate. This aligns with modern concept of social responsibility, charity, philanthropy, and creating inclusive community where everyone has an opportunity. I'm repeating. The principle of Maa't encourages the wealthy to assist the less fortunate. It translates. This aligns with the modern concept of social responsibility, charity, philanthropy, and creating inclusive community where everyone has an opportunity. There's no point of you being selfish. There's no point of you start sabotaging your competitors. There's no point of you keeping everything to yourself, taking the winner take all. Maa't doesn't teach you that. Give to the less fortunate. When the blessings are provided upon you, have the courage as well to bless the less fortunate. I don't say the lazy. You go to less fortunate that you know in your community, and you can see their condition. They are unable. Society didn't give them the platform where they can perform better. This can be the disabled people, can be the blind people, can be the young kids who are orphans, can be the young widows, old widows, can be the elders, people that got a valid reasons as to why they are unable to sustain for themselves. Not people who are lazy, they sit watching TV and they don't produce. No. So be charitable, open up, assist, help. That is what makes you abiding by my heart. We go to order and harmony in society, the community, the society that we are living in. Order and harmony in society, what Maa't is teaching us about. Maa't was about maintaining societal cohesion. Just as I just talked about, societal cohesion. This applies to adhering to laws, respecting social norms, engaging in civil discourse, and working toward collective well-being rather than sowing discord. I'm repeating, order and harmony in society. Maa't was about maintaining societal cohesion. Maa't was about maintaining societal cohesion. Not division, not balkanization, not war, not abuse, not disrespect, not advantage over others. Let's go further. This applies to adhering to laws, respecting social norms, engaging in civil discourse, and working toward collective well-being rather than sowing discourse. You as a Kemteic believer, you as an inherent Kemteic member, you as a Kemteic leader, which role are you playing here in order and harmony in a society? What is your impact and your reputation amongst your community, in your society? What is your credibility? These are questions that you need to ask yourself when you identify yourself as a Kemteic leader. Remember, ethical leadership. This is the last point in the justice and community. Ethical leadership in ancient Egypt, the pharaoh was expected to embody Maa't. Today, this translates to leaders in government, business, and or community, making decisions with integrity, transparency, and for the benefit of the greater good, not just personal gain. This is talking to leadership. I'm repeating. When you're in a leadership position, either you're a politician, either you're a public figure, either you're a community leader, either you're in government, whatever position you have of leadership, what does Maa't and how does Maa't expect you to behave and conduct. What Maa't expects from you? Ethical leadership. Not unethical, ethical leadership. In ancient Egypt, the pharaoh was expected to embody Maa't. Today, this translates to leaders in government, business, or communities, making decisions with integrity, transparency, and for the benefit of the greater good, not just personal gain. When you're in leadership, are you thinking about your community? What are the kind of decisions that you are taking? The kind of decisions that are you taking, are they favoring the community around you? Is what your community wants from you? So these are the questions that leaders need to ask themselves when are put in possession of leadership. That's why the gospel of Maa't needs to be put out there. So that if you can have Kemteic leaders, things will change. Do not confuse Kemetism and tradition, what you go to do, which sends you to deceive people. We are the people of principle. We're not scary. You can see how I'm appearing. I'm not scary, wearing whatever regalia to influence people. We are living in a modern society with our modern life. So when you are put in possession of leadership, remember this ethical leadership. Be ethical in every action that you are taking in your possession. You're gonna notice that as long as people are fighting you, people are trying to plenty of things. You're gonna stand as long as you got honest, you got integrity in every action that you are taking and decisions. Not for personal gain. I'm encouraging you that. And then we go to our third point, which is environmental stewardship. What does Maa't have said about us? Because sometimes I hear in certain medias, they are busy criticizing us that we are poachers, and then what do we think or our forefathers started working on for us to benefit the Africa that we have today, the land that we have today, the land that is prosperous, wherever you are following me, Brazil, South America, North America, Europe. What does our forefather, what does Kemetism plan for us in our modern society? In our modern society, Kemetism plan this about our environment stewardship. One, a respect for nature and resources. We always know that we got resources. Nothing has been discovered. We always know that we got resources. We always know our connection to water. What Maa't teaches? Maa't principle extend to the natural world. The negative confession include, I have not polluted the water and I have not stolen grain, emphasizing responsible use of resources. In our era of climate change and environmental degradation, Maa't provides timeless ethical framework for 1. Sustainability, 2. Conservation, and 3. Mindful consumption. In sustainability, using resources wisely, reducing waste, and considering the impact of our actions on future generations. Maybe you miss, we are talking about environment stewardship. What does Maa't provided for us? Maa't told us, Maa't principle extended to the natural world. The negative confession included, I have not polluted water. Maa't doesn't allow us to sabotage water, to pollute water, to throw it in the water. We need to respect water. We are having this inundation because we have no respect of water. In certain part of the world, they are having channeling, reducing our water need to conduct itself, deciding on top of water. That's why we're having all this inundation. And then, I have not stolen grain. Maa't does not allow us to steal people's land, to steal people's grain, to steal people's goods. Today, grain is people's asset. It's people's patrimony. Maa't does not approve you of behaving that way. emphasizing responsible use of resources. Don't abuse. Because you got the opportunity, you block it for yourself, you start abusing natural resources. It be the trees, it be water, it be whatever you're having. Responsible use is expected of you as a Kemteic. And then we go further. In our era of climate change and environmental degradation, Maa't provides a timeless ethical framework, which you said one is sustainability. Sustainability, it means using resources wisely, reducing waste, and considering the impact of our action on future generations. With conservation, protecting ecosystems, biodiversity, and natural habitat. I say with conservation, protecting ecosystems, biodiversity, and natural habitat. With mindful consumption, being aware of where our good come from and their environmental footprint. On the last point, under respect of nature and resources, Maa't is teaching us to be mindful of our consumption. We don't have to abuse. We must consume what is good and enough for us. We don't need to exaggerate. And he say, being aware of where our good come from and their environment footprint. Honoring the authenticity and the origin of whatever we have. What the sun bless you with, what the moon bless you with, what the star bless you with, what the land bless you with, what the tree bless you with, what nature bless you with. And lastly, we go now to our last point in our topic of today, which is our fourth point, which I'm going to conclude with. Spiritual and cosmetic alignment. I'll go and read quickly for you. Living in alignment with the universal order. Beyond specific ethical acts, Maa't represented an underlying cosmic order. For modern spiritual seeker, this means striving to live in harmony with the universal law, acknowledging the interconnected of existence, and seeking deeper purpose that transcended material pursuit. I'm repeating, living in alignment with universal orders. This interests new spiritual seekers. For modern spiritual seeker, this means striving to live in harmony with the universal laws, acknowledging the interconnected of existence and seeking a deeper purpose of transcendent material pursuit. You as a Kemteic believer, you need to understand that everything is interconnected. We connected to nature. Nature is connected to us. We are all one in one. If you want to have power, that is the key that you need to understand and start applying. Live in harmony with nature. Honor the land, honor the sun, honor the moon, honor the star, honor the wind, honor the water, honor every nature, and the nature can honor you back. That is a major point. Connect with nature. Our subpoint, the second one, is wedging with the heart in daily life. Well, the literal wedging of the heart was an afterlife ritual, its essence can be applied daily. It's a continuous self-assessment. I'm repeating, wedging of the heart in a daily life. What is wedging of the life? Literally, is a ritual that we do during crossover, when we are conducting crossover on behalf of our loved one who passed away, on behalf of the client to pay us to conduct. The person which we do also this ritual, but it's not something that I'm going to enter in details. But literally, I can just explain that a wedding of the heart is an afterlife ritual. But I find it that its essence can be applied daily. You understand? It's a continuous self-assessment. I'm gonna give you some of the questions that are my intention pure? Are my action aligned with my values? Am I contributing to balance or chaos? This internal reflection helps you cultivate a light heart in this life. Because when we're conducting crossover, there are certain questions that you ask on behalf of that, the person that you're helping, the spirit that you're helping, and trying to create a balance to enable them to cross. So in a daily life, you who can be asking yourself on a daily basis, are my intention pure? When I'm intending to do ABC, are my intention pure? And you can ask yourself again, are my action aligned with my values? In my previous video, I teach about values. Say, are my actions aligned with my values? What you are doing and your value, are they in alignment? Or we are just making hypocrisy? Am I contributing to balance or chaos? Your words, your action, your contributions. Are you uniting? Are you dividing? Are you building? Are you destroying? Are you empowering? You can answer such questions yourself. Ask yourself in every decision that you are intending to take or are taking. Try to create that balance for yourself. These are easy, concluding ways to balance and align yourself with the Kemteic. And I think lastly, you can ask, who am I? What are my purpose in this particular life? And Kemteic, we got answer to that. All Kemteic, they know who they are, what are their mission and purposes. Yes. All Kemteic, initiated Kemteic, they know that. And then, lastly, we conclude with conscious creation, understanding our thoughts, words, action, and ripple toward, and contribute to the collective reality. Living in my heart means consciously choosing to contribute positively. Those are my conclusion. You want to live my heart is to choose to contribute positively to the world. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share the comment. If you're interested in this season, thank you very much. We're going to see you again in our next one, which we're going to talk about one of the Maa't value again, Uncoded, to enable you to understand how we can live in this modern life. Thank you very much. It was a teach from your humble servant. See you on next one.